Hi guys, happy holidays. I'm Stephanie. This is my health and wellness and pretty much anything else I feel like talking about channel. Um, Today I'm going to be talking about budgeting and my planned low buy for 2023. So stick around if you're interested in that. This monstrosity behind me, it's a funny story. Kind of funny, kind of like tragic, but we switched to a new Christmas tree stand and I'm really like, oh, I forgot to water the tree this morning. I'll have to go do that after. I'm really scared about like not watering the tree, right? Because I don't want it to dry out. I hate it when it gets all dry. So I was watering it. I was like, oh, this tree must be really thirsty. It's taking a lot of water. And then a couple days in, my daughter noticed, she's like, why is the living room floor wet, right? And it had leaked all over the place. Um, and we had to return it and move this fully decorated tree out of one stand into another, which broke a few ornaments. But I'm so thankful to my daughter for noticing because she saved, like, basically the presents were all around, and she noticed in time where it was starting to soak the bottom of the bags, but not totally, and it hadn't hit the presents yet. So I freaked out, whipped all the presents down here where I've got it covered by this like tablecloth, which with a little sign like "Don't peek." Most of them are wrapped, but still, it's ridiculous. But I'm so thankful that we didn't lose anything in that incident, and really, it's not a big deal. It's just a tree, so it's all good now. But that is what is behind me is like pile of gifts. Happy holidays if you guys are getting ready for it, and I hope that you're having a good time and everybody's safe and healthy in your world. Okay, what I'm here to talk about. I think I talked about in my last couple of videos that I was kind of amassing a bit more product in my home and spending a bit more than I really should have been on things I love, scents and teas and candles and all of these things that make me happy and make me feel good and reduce my stress. Um, but guess what? Having credit card debt is also a stressor, and I'm usually a person who's really not okay with debt for myself. I really try to avoid it. So this has been out of character, and we're just going to do a little course correction, and I'm going to drink tea. This is from last year, my David's tea. I think this is a perfect mug. I wasn't sure about like pink as a Christmas color, but it's got little owls and like critters, and it's got these shiny trees, and I really like the perfect mugs for coffee, actually. Tea, they're kind of not big enough, but coffee, they're like 12 ounces, and they're the perfect amount. So more mugs for my collection. Case in point to my spending problem, okay? So I want to go through my rules with you that I have for myself for 2023. For my low buy. But first of all, I want to talk about my goal. Okay, because if you're going to attempt a low buy, I think you really need to, how do I put this? You need to be in enough pain, or you need to have a strong enough purpose to it, a motivation to it that's really going to make you stick. Because if you're just like, I should be spending less money, it's just not, like when the tempting thing comes along, it's not motivating at all, right? So for me, my goals by the end of ideally 6 months, I'd like this to only be a 6 month sort of push, because I've looked at the budgeting and that should be enough if I really go hard at it. I would like to have a emergency fund build up of $500, because everybody, you need an emergency fund. Something comes up, something breaks, something happens and you have to stay in a hotel for a couple of nights with no warning, like something comes up and you need $500 to $1,000 put away in cash that you can grab. Okay, this is your mother speaking. So I would like to have $500 built up as an emergency fund, and that is just money to sit there and make me feel secure and happy and safe. And then I'm not going to talk about the exact number, but I would like to have my credit card paid down. I let it run up too much, and it kind of trickled out of COVID anxiety and the transitions I was doing there. And then I switched to a new job that I really love, but I'm actually making $1,000 less a month. And that's okay. That was a worthwhile switch for me, and I love my job, but I kind of didn't adjust my lifestyle and sort of acknowledge that there were certain luxury products that I really are just not in my realm anymore, and that's okay. I just kind of I needed to flick the switch. So those are my goals. Okay, 6 months, $500 emergency fund, and have my credit card paid off as much as possible. Okay, I have 4 rules. I tried to keep it simple. I've been working on these for a while. I will put them down below. Rule number 1, every payday, I get, my goal is $25 of self care spending. Okay. Why wouldn't I just do a complete no buy? Well, I'm one of those binge and purge type of people, and I know myself. And if I say to myself, I'm not going to have sugar for the next 6 months, is that going to work? Is that going to work? It's not. Because has it ever worked for anybody ever? No, because you start to get in your head and you start to be like, I'm feeling so deprived, and why can't I at least have a little bit of pleasure in life, and blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I need some things like conditioner. Like, I don't want to look like a cave woman at the end of 6 months. So every payday, I would like to plan what I'm going to buy. I would like to have the experience of going to a store and spending within my limit. It's a bit of a training for me. It's a bit of a training to be like, I'm going to set a budget. I'm going to actively practice this activity of going to a store and saying no to some things so that I stay within my budget, but still walk out with something that makes me pleased, right? That is a muscle I need to build. That kind of self control, that moderation muscle. Okay, so $25. Um, then the second rule, this one I'm really proud of. Okay. I need a preamble. I still do my own spending for myself on my credit card. I know some people feel that that's not the way to go, or they're like, they want to use cash, or like whatever works for you guys. Um, I don't like to use my checking account because that's a shared account for the household, and I don't spend anything for myself out of there. If I use my savings debit, it charges me $3 a time that I use it, and I do not want to do that. So I came up with the double back principle. Okay, I already have some credit card debt. If I spend, let's say on payday, $22, okay, I go to Bath and Body Works and I get, a shower gel and whatever and a soap, and I spend $22, which is within my budget. I have to then go immediately to my account and transfer over double that amount onto my credit card. So if I spend $22, I have to have $44 in cash that I immediately put on my credit card, so that every time I spend, my credit card actually goes lower than the amount. And I also have to make sure that if I'm going to spend money, I have to have double that amount in my account before I can spend it. So that's called the double back rule. That's going to really work for me because each time I spend, I'm also going to get that reward of being like, I'm spending, but I'm also being responsible by paying down my debt by the same amount. Okay. Third rule, this one's going to this one's going to shock some people, but it's the 12 max rule. And I'm speaking now to my people out there who have like a large stash of stuff, okay? Because what happens is you get these crazy sales and you're like, I got to stock up, right? This is like a $4 body lotion sale. I have to, I can't just get like 2 lotions for $8, of course. I have to go and get 10 lotions for $40, right? So I need to look at each thing in my collection, and I have, and make sure that I never have more than 12 of any type. Please understand that my stash contains a lot of seasonal things. So several of those lotions, for example, are for next autumn. Okay, several of them are for next summer or next spring. So this is not 12 of the same lotion. This is like a year's worth of lotion. I cannot have more than that. So if I see the most amazing, like let's say they come out with the most amazing scent that is my holy grail scent. If I already have 12, I cannot buy that one thing on my payday. Even if I have the $25, I cannot walk in and buy it. I have to have an empty out, and then I can bring one in. 12 max rule. Fourth rule for me, and this might be different for some people, is that I will only buy in the store. And that's going to be a challenge for me. Online shopping is my problem. Online shopping is too easy for me. You know, I'm sitting there watching TV and I can just click, 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 boop, 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 and spend like $100, and it's like I don't even feel it, right? Like it's just so easy. Whereas if I have to go into the store, I actually hate going to the mall. I think for some people it's a trigger, and if they go to the mall, they're like, "Oh, I spend all the money." I'm not tempted. I don't like being around that amount of people. The kind of gross, flashy consumerism of it bothers me. Um, yeah, the mall just kind of grosses me out a little bit. So um, I'll have to like put on clothes and get in the car and have time to get to the mall and go to the mall and buy the thing I need to buy. So like I need some more conditioner. Sorry, I just washed my hair, by the way. This is not a look I'm going for. I'm just air drying it. Um, I have to go into Lush and and I might put it off because I don't really want to go that badly, and that's a good thing for me. So I don't know if you're thinking about a low buy or a no buy. Think about those kind of rules and what might work for you. I just kind of wanted to share my rules because I feel like I've solidified them and maybe give you some suggestions if you're thinking about the same thing. I think I'm a little nervous about it. I have been letting myself down a lot. Um, not really being hard on myself and giving myself enough discipline. And I need to change that. I'm a grown ass woman and I should be able to change that. I want the feeling of feeling financially secure. I want the feeling of feeling like I'm satisfied and grateful for what I have, and I'm not always looking for the next new thing. So let me know in the comments if this is something, if financial resolutions are something that you're doing in the new year, um, or if you have any rules for yourself. Like, is online shopping harder for you, or are you worse in the mall? I'd love to hear it. And take care, everybody, and I will be back soon with updates. Bye.